So we're here at the MSI booth at PAX Prime 2015, and they are throwing one heck of a party. It all centers around the grand final of their Masters Gaming Arena 2015. This is a Heroes of the Storm and StarCraft 2 competition that has actually been going on since May of this year, and we are finding out actually right behind us right now who will be taking home the title for Heroes of the Storm, and StarCraft 2 is going to be tomorrow. But the subject of this video is the technology running the show behind me. So let's have a closer look at the laptops that the gamers up on the stage there are using. Okay, so I promised we'd check out the GE62s that the competitors are using up there, but we got a little distracted on the way because this is the next generation GT72S. Okay, it's kind of similar, it's a little bit bigger, but it has some pretty amazing upgrades over the last generation product. So first of all, this is running the all-new Core i7 6820HK. Yes, K. Overclocking on a notebook. We've talked about this on WAN Show. Now it's real. MSI figures you can peak at around 4.2 gigahertz if you overclock on a quad core on a laptop. And you can run sustained probably in the neighborhood of about 4 gigahertz. And the rest of the specs are no slouch as well. You've got a GTX 980M 8 gig in there. It's got a 17.3-inch Full HD G-Sync display. It's got up to 64 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, but the storage, the storage is where things get really off the hook, as I believe the kids say. Check out this crystal disk mark. That is a read speed of 3.2 gigabytes per second and a write speed of 1.25 gigabytes per second. They are achieving this with two PCIe 4X Gen 3 SSDs. Those are NVMe SSDs. That is something that I personally have not seen before. Oh yeah, there are some other upgrades, right, physically. So it's got a new keyboard design, and they've replaced one of the DisplayPort ports in the back with USB Type-C with Thunderbolt 3 capability coming in the future. The certification's not quite done yet, but the logo's on there, the hardware's in there, and it is going to be ready to go very, very soon. Okay, I had to stop and see this. This is the Nightblade MI. Now, this isn't the first time that we've seen MSI do a super compact gaming machine, but this is a whole other level because you guys will be much more impressed by it when I tip it over onto its side and show you just how slim this puppy is. So it features support for the latest 6th generation Core i7 processors. Yes, you can stuff a 6700K in here. It's got a custom mini ITX motherboard inside that takes SODIMM memory, so they are like really going for all the space savings they can get on this bad boy. It can hold a full-size graphics card, so this particular one is kitted out with a GTX 970 with their all-new Silent Storm cooling on it. But yeah, it's really fast. It's got lots of cooling and all that stuff, but that is not even what's most impressive about this bad boy to me. So let's go ahead and open her up. Oh wow, that came off pretty smoothly. Normally it doesn't go that well for me. We've got a single 2.5-inch SSD up here. We've got two 3.5-inch hard drives on these handy-dandy little sleds. You just take out 2 screws and you're ready to replace a hard drive. And we've got an optical drive. They fit 4 drives into this tiny, like, shoebox-sized chassis. I mean, that's freaking unbelievable. So if you do want to pick one up, it'll be available as a bare bones in North America. So basically you throw in your own CPU and drives and like all that kind of stuff. Or in other regions worldwide, you'll be able to buy it as a complete system. Very nice. And wrapping things up, we've got the all-in-one that's being used by the commentators here. This is the 24GE2QE, and we've seen gaming-grade all-in-ones, okay? So yeah, it's got a Core i7 processor, either 4th or 5th gen, depending on which SKU you're shopping for. This particular one is 4th gen. It's got a GTX 960M, so you can watch videos at the 4K resolution of the built-in 23.6-inch screen and play like mainstream games like League of Legends. It's got enough horsepower for that. It's got 16 gigs of RAM. It's got a 128 gig M-SATA SSD with 2 slots for 2.5-inch drives. In this case, it's got a couple of hard drives for mass storage. But the thing that we haven't really seen much of in the past is super slim gaming all-in-ones. It's one of those things I've always wondered why we don't do. We've got all these slim gaming laptops. Well, MSI goes, well, hold on a second. That's the same bloody technology. Why don't we go ahead and put that into an all-in-one? And they're doing a few other things right with this one as well. That 4K display is now IPS and 10-point multi-touch, so it's got all the fixins as far as all of that is concerned. So thanks for checking out our coverage of the MSI. I don't even want to call it a booth. It's like an extravaganza here at PAX Prime 2015. Don't miss any of our content, and I will see you guys on our next video, assuming you subscribe, which you should.